Does this matter? Okay. First of all, I guess as a statement that I like to make is unbelievably how proud I am of our players and our coaching staff and all the people that's involved in the football program. Tonight was evidence of the fact of what you believe when you don't give in and you believe in each other. After the last game that we played, there would have been opportunities for us to doubt ourselves, doubt that we could win this game. And when we came back to practice last week during the open date, we had as good a practices as we've had probably all year long. And I've made this statement multiple times that teams don't really ever become very good until the leaders and the seniors and the upperclassmen take ownership of the program. When they decide what's going to be the standard of effort, performance, when they do that, then you have a chance to really build a football program. And those kids, they did exactly what I would have ever dreamed and wanted them to do for the last 2 weeks. They practiced hard. They were on each other about doing the right things. Tonight wasn't perfect. We did some things that obviously, potentially jeopardized our opportunity to win the game. But the kids, they believed in the idea of the next play. Forget about the last one. We can't change it, can't fix it. We jumped off sides, we did this, we did that. Doesn't make any difference. Just keep trying to make good plays and pulling for each other. And so I'm unbelievably proud of our kids and our program. Miami's a good football team. They got a lot of athletes and they got a lot of talent, and it took a lot of hard work. We diagnosed what we felt like we had to do to try to win the game. And it kind of started with special teams. We looked at that and we said, they've got electric returners and those kinds of things. We got to do a great job with punts. We cannot let them have punt returns. A year ago when we played them, they flipped the field on us on field position on some big punt returns. They had big kickoff returns. Jose had an unbelievably great night tonight. Perfect on field goals, and he kicked off, and a lot of them were touchbacks. And then when they did return the ball, we did a good job of not letting them get huge, gigantic returns. I was a little disappointed with some of the penalties, especially in the first half. It's like, God, we're just going to keep shooting ourselves in the foot because we had opportunities to potentially score and put more points on the board. I thought our offense did a great job that second quarter to go down and kick a field goal at the end of the half. You love going into a locker room on a positive note, scoring points and making the lead 13-0. Probably one of the best things about the entire night tonight was red zone defense. Jeff Kopp and Jared Cruzy, our co-defensive coordinators, they did a phenomenal job and got our kids in the right position and the right calls to stuff them, to hold them and not let them get in and score touchdowns, kick a field goal. They just really did a good job in the red zone. So proud of our kids, and proud of our coaches, and it was a very good win tonight and happy for our kids.
Coach, it seems like you guys are just better prepared for the game today. You seem to know everything that the Canes were about to do. So can you talk about what went into the preparation?
Yeah, it's a byproduct of going through the course of the season. I'm a little disappointed that we didn't play this well some other games during the course of the season. We fought through some injuries. We've had a lot of kids hurt this year. I don't think I've ever coached a team that's had this many injuries over the course of the season. But tonight, those kids, they fought through everything. I think our coaches did a good job of diagnosing exactly personnel groupings and field position and formations that gave us a chance to kind of diagnose what might happen. You never know that it's 100% going to happen, but you have a pretty good idea, and our kids executed, and that's a good positive thing.
Coach had a lot of big wins in here.
Sorry, Tim, go ahead.
You've had a lot of big wins, obviously. You've got a lot of pieces that you're already but the significance of this, the significance of doing it here, what does it mean to you at this point?
Maybe, Tim, maybe. After losing a tough game last week and not playing good and then bouncing back, a little bit of reminiscent of getting blown out 63-7 against Syracuse and coming back and beating UCLA, the number 2 team in the country. And, we had to just immediately change the mindset of, you can't fix what's in the past, and all you can do is come out and fix what you're doing now. And for this program, that's probably maybe a little bit of a stepping stone for the future, that if you believe in yourself and you execute and you play hard, anything's possible.
Coach, on Wednesday, you went over goal line situations as well as red zone situations.
Yeah.
You also practiced what the crowd wins.
Yeah.
Two-part question. One, what you saw there tonight, were you expecting
No.
this would be the atmosphere? And then just talk about the performance
Yeah, great.
on the goal line and the rest.
Sure, great question, Eric. We did for the first time because, we knew that there was going to be a lot of noise tonight, that there would be a pretty significant crowd, and most of them would probably be Miami fans. So, we did crowd noise last week, and we did it this week, and every time the offense took the field, we tried to blow their ears off because you knew the communication with offensive line, changing the protections, which we did a good job of keeping James Morgan clean tonight. And then obviously anytime you have to audible and you got to communicate along the line of scrimmage, it's really important to do that because we don't play in a lot of games where the crowd noise is like that. And I thought our kids executed and they did good. It got close tonight, as you saw. There was probably at least a half a dozen or more plays that the ball got snapped right at 2-1, just simply because, we were trying to milk the clock down, but we were waiting for them to tell us exactly what they were going to do, 2 high, 1 high, and a lot of those kinds of things. But I was really proud of James and his way in which he really negotiated and milked the clock. I mean, we felt like that one of the best ways to keep them from scoring, keep their offense on the sidelines, make first downs, and shorten the game as much as possible.
Coach, can you talk a little deeper about the preparation? You had guys in their passing lanes, it seemed like all night long. It seemed like you were jumping their routes quite a bit. I mean, that's 2 weeks.
We should have had more interceptions tonight. I mean, we tipped some balls, but our kids didn't, Jeff Kopp is our linebackers coach, and he did a really, really good job of knowing exactly what the route combinations were going to be like. And once you knew that it was going to be either an RPO or it was going to be a drop back pass, get in the lane. Get in that lane and knock them down, or if you can, we got some interceptions. I'm disappointed because some of those interceptions we returned into great field position and ended up either not scoring or having to kick a field goal. And, those are things that, you'd like to have done. But our defensive kids tonight, I mean, we rotated. We probably played 10 defensive linemen tonight, and keeping those guys fresh because you got to chase, you got to pursue. Quarterback's athletic. He can get outside the pocket. And one of the things that a lot of people don't really understand, you hear the term sometimes plaster. When a quarterback starts breaking out of the pocket, a lot of times guys want to go sack the quarterback, and they leave guys on, and our guys stayed in their position when he scrambled, and we tipped balls, and some of them we got interceptions, and some we knocked down. So kids did a really good job in the secondary and the linebackers.
Butch, did anything at all stir inside going up to the site or when looking at that skyline of what used to be the East End? Did it feel anything, or was it just?
It did, driving down 826 to 836 until you got off this deal, and then when you get off, there's no rusty stadium there with only 5 bathrooms and only 2 of them for women, and totally different facility. And Marlins, we're just happy that they allowed us to have this here. I thought it was a great venue. It was really good for everybody to be there tonight. It was a good game, and there's maybe a little bit of those spirits that stay in that ground that kind of help take care of us tonight.
And obviously there was a lot of boos coming from the crowd tonight.
Say what?
There's a lot of boos coming from the crowd and a lot
Boo-boo.
of controversy from the UM sideline when a couple of your guys went down.
Yeah.
It looked like
I'd like for them to look at our medical reports, okay? I guarantee you, I've never coached a football team that has had as many hamstrings and groin injuries this entire season, and this is the truth, okay? Our medical people have tracked every kid on our football team that has missed a practice. We're over 700 through 11 games. We've had now we got 100 kids on the team. One kid misses 8, one misses 5. It doesn't take long to get there, but we've had a bunch of kids that have had, had hamstring injuries and stuff like that. And so, it's a shame when somebody boos when people get injured. We didn't boo when their kid broke his elbow.
What does this do for recruiting? You've taken down the big dog in Miami-Dade County.
Yeah. I hope, we're trying every single year that we've been there, we're trying to recruit kids and raise the level every year of the kids that we bring into the program. We got a vision for the program. We keep saying it. I want to try to build a program that goes 13-0, wins the conference championship, and has a chance to play in a January 1 bowl game. And every time you win a game like this, last year winning 9 games, winning a bowl game, winning games like this, gives you an opportunity to help get into living rooms of kids that will continue to help grow this program.
Coach, the offensive line, talk about night and day from Middle Tennessee State and Tulane, being now, Connell, Demery,
Yeah, how about that? If you'd have told me that we were going to start a freshman left guard and a redshirt freshman right guard and a redshirt right tackle and stuff back in August, I might have resigned. You know, I mean, it was unbelievable. And those offensive line kids, they have fought their guts out this entire season. We literally, 2 weeks ago at FIU, we finished the game. We only had 6 offensive linemen, and that was it. And 2 of them were hurt, and they were just sucking it up. And tonight, Devontae Taylor went out. He said, Coach, he told the trainers, he said, I'm coming back in. I'm going to play. And he finished the game. I mean, they just keep fighting, and that's all you can ever ask any of your kids to do.
What's the Gatorade bath?
Tim?
The Gatorade bath?
Yeah. Oh, sticky.
Cleaned up okay, that's the key, but big picture, what is the moment?
Oh, it just,
You played before, you played a bunch of times,
Yeah.
I know that, but this had to mean something.
yeah. Well, it's special, okay? But I will tell you, and I've told people this for decades, you have no business being a coach if you don't love kids. And if you're not coaching for the kids, then you're in the wrong profession. You need to be there. This is an unbelievable moment for these kids. They'll remember this for the rest of their lives, that believing in each other and working and doing everything you can to, when everybody says you can't. You know, you're not supposed to win this game. You're, I don't know, 2 touchdown underdogs and, you know, or whatever it was. I don't even know how much it was. But, I mean, you know, if you believe that you can, then you can. And I'm just thrilled for those kids in that locker room.
Coach, this makes you bowl eligible, which is historic for the program. It's the first time FIU has gone through 3 straight bowls. How does that feel?
Yeah.
What is this moment like?
Yeah, no, it really feels good because the seniors put a lot of pressure on themselves, okay? I mean, once we got off to a bad start, and it was like, ooh, are we going to be able to win enough games? And looking at the most difficult part of the schedule was at the back end of the schedule. And then we got on a roll. We won 4 games out of 5 and kind of had a little bit. And then, you know, we didn't play a couple of games we have self-inflicted, and we talked to our team about at times we've been undisciplined and we've hurt ourselves. But, you know, 2 weeks ago we told ourselves, hey, we're going to work and we're going to try to win 3 games in a row. And tonight was the first.
Coach, it seems like you had a lot of guys open offensively, just with your
Yeah.
route combinations. What did you see in you as defense?
Yeah. Well, this is truly the game plan part of it was you cannot be one-dimensional against Miami, okay? I mean, you watch the film and you watch their games, and the last thing you want to do is be in 3rd down and long all night long and try to convert because they've got too good of pass rushers. They're good in the coverage. Their linebackers can blitz. So one of the major things that helped us win the game tonight was we didn't rush for 250 yards, but we ran the ball well enough that it kept the game 2-dimensional, that they had to play respect to play action. They had to play respect. They couldn't just blitz and pin their ears back all night long. And then we had kids that made some really, really good catches. Tony Gator made some, and Shamar Thornton made one. And, God, we had the chance for a touchdown down in the end zone, went through his hands. And then, obviously, Anthony Jones, which – I mean, I almost cry every time I see a kid play just for what he's gone through, and to see him score that touchdown tonight was just, I mean, it was unbelievable, and I was so happy for him.
What does this game mean for kids that are maybe on the fringe of making it to play on Sundays, and now after
Yeah.
this win, maybe you push them over the edge?
We have had all 32 teams, and I would say that probably at least 25 of them have been to our practices more than 4 times. For the first time, we've got a group of senior kids that have kind of laid the foundation for this program, and a lot of the pro scouts have come in and they've wanted to watch these kids. And tonight was a big showcase for a lot of those kids to show how can you play on a level that maybe people don't think you can play at, and to go out there and the protection in the offensive line, and the guys on the secondary, Stanley Thomas and Ike Brown and Sage Lewis and those guys, I mean, they just played really, really good. And defensive line kept putting pressure on the quarterback, and you know, I mean, that's a big key to any success is winning on 3rd downs. And I think we did. I don't know what it was. I think at halftime they were 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 on 3rd downs, and that's a big part of helping you win.
Coach, how have you before regardless is the resolve he's shown me all the year he's had? He's been up and down. The fact that he knocked down 3 field goals tonight.
Yeah, I mean, You know, I just think that you got to believe in kids, you know. I mean, you know, you think that kid wanted to miss any field goals this entire season. He didn't want to miss any of them. And we've had an unbelievable amount of trust in him in 17 and 18. Last year he was phenomenal. I mean, he made, I don't know, it was like 97% of all of his kicks inside 45-yard line. And tonight when he made, I don't know what that was, 51 or 52-yard line, you know, I just believed he did. I watched him in pregame, and he was just knocking them through the middle of the field goal. And I just said, you know what? He's going to have a great night tonight, and he did.
Anything else, guys? All right, thanks.
Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it.